Let us start with something uncomfortable. You probably want more from your life. More freedom, more money, more peace, more confidence, more impact. You watch videos, you read books, you follow people who already have what you want. You learn about habits, strategies, morning routines, productivity, and sometimes you even try. You start a project, you go to the gym, you study a new skill, you wake up earlier for a few days. But then something invisible happens. You lose motivation, you feel heavy, you hear a voice inside that says, "Who do you think you are? You always quit. You are not like those people. This will not work anyway." And little by little, you stop. From the outside, it looks like laziness or lack of discipline. But very often, the real problem is something deeper. Your mind is still programmed for a different result. Today, I want to talk to you about this invisible layer. How to reprogram your mind for success. How to destroy limiting beliefs. And how to start thinking more like a winner in a way that is real, not fake positive. By the way, if you like to use English to understand yourself better and to slowly upgrade your inner world, you can subscribe and keep these reflections close to your routine. Let us begin. First, you need to understand what a belief is. A belief is not just an idea. It is a story that your brain decided is true enough to use as a filter. It is like a pair of glasses that you forget you are wearing. You do not see the glasses. You see through them. For example, if you believe I am bad with money, you will see evidence of that everywhere. You will notice every mistake, every bill, every moment of confusion. But you will ignore or minimize the moments when you did well. If you believe people cannot be trusted, you will see betrayal and danger in many situations. If you believe I am not creative, you will never even try to create something. Beliefs are powerful because they shape what you notice, how you feel, and what you do. And here is the dangerous part. Many of your most powerful beliefs were not chosen consciously. They were formed by repetition, emotion, and environment. Things you heard growing up. You are so messy. You are the smart one, not the sporty one. Money is always a problem. Rich people are selfish. Life is hard for people like us. You are too sensitive. You are lazy. You always overreact. Your brain, especially when you are young, absorbs these messages like code. And unless you question them, they continue to run in the background of your life. So the first step to reprogram your mind for success is not to repeat, "I am a billionaire" in front of the mirror. It is to honestly ask, what beliefs are secretly running my life right now? Let us look at some common limiting beliefs in 3 areas: yourself, others, the world. Limiting beliefs about yourself. I am not good enough. I am not disciplined. I always fail. I am not smart. I am not attractive. I am too old. I am too young. I am not the type of person who succeeds. Limiting beliefs about others. People do not care about me. People will judge me if I try. If I show my real self, I will be rejected. If I become successful, people will be jealous. People only like me when I help them. Limiting beliefs about the world. Life is unfair. Nothing works for me. Success is only for lucky people. To have money, you must be dishonest. There is no point in trying. Everything is already decided. You may not say these sentences out loud, but if they live inside you, they affect everything. So, how do you actually change them? There are many techniques, but I want to give you a simple, practical process you can start today. Think of it as 3 movements: see it, question it, replace it. First movement: see it. You cannot change what you refuse to see. So for a few days, start observing your inner dialogue like a scientist. When something goes wrong, what do you tell to yourself? When you make a mistake, what is the first phrase that appears in your mind? When you imagine a dream, what voice appears immediately after? You can write these sentences down. For example, I always ruin everything. Of course this happened. This is my life. People like me do not get this kind of opportunity. I will probably fail, so why try? I am not interesting enough. I never finish what I start. Just this act of writing creates distance. You stop being completely inside the story and become someone who can look at the story. Second movement: question it. Now you take one of these beliefs and you talk to it. You do not need to fight aggressively. You can be curious. You can ask, where did I learn this? Maybe it came from a parent, from school, from a painful experience, from comparison with others. You can ask, is this belief absolutely true? For example, I never finish what I start. Really? Never. Maybe you finished school. Maybe you finished a series. Maybe you finished a book. Maybe you finished a difficult week. So the belief is not a fact. It is an exaggeration. You can ask, what does this belief do to me when I believe it? When you believe I am not good enough, you feel small, afraid to try, jealous of others. When you believe success is only for lucky people, you feel passive. You do not take responsibility. You can ask, who would I be without this belief? How would you act if you did not have automatic access to the thought, I am not the type of person who succeeds? Maybe you would try more. Maybe you would learn from mistakes instead of using them as proof that you are hopeless. Third movement: replace it. Your brain does not like empty space. You cannot just say, from now on, I will not believe I am not good enough. That belief will try to return. You need to offer your brain a new story to practice. Attention. The new story does not need to be extreme. If you try to replace I am a failure with I am the most amazing genius in the world, your brain will say, no, we are not playing this game. So you look for something that feels a little better and still believable. For example, old belief: I always fail. New belief: sometimes I fail, sometimes I succeed, and I can learn from both. Old belief: I am not disciplined. New belief: I am learning to be more consistent, one small action at a time. Old belief: I am not the type of person who succeeds. New belief: I am becoming the type of person who shows up and grows. Old belief: people will judge me if I try. New belief: some people may judge me, but some will support me, and I am doing this for my own life. Notice that these new beliefs are not perfect fairy tales. They are bridges. You practice them by repeating them, especially in the moments when the old belief appears. And here is the key. Reprogramming your mind does not happen only through words. It happens through words plus action. When you act in a new way, you give your brain fresh evidence. Let us make this concrete with a simple 4-step daily practice. Step 1. Morning intention. When you wake up, instead of immediately diving into your phone, take 1 minute to choose a thought for the day. A thought that supports the person you want to become. For example, today I choose to act like someone who respects their time. Today I choose to act like someone who is capable of learning. Today I choose to act like someone who deserves good things. You do not need to feel it fully. You are just giving your brain a direction. Step 2. Small, courageous action. During the day, do one thing that is slightly uncomfortable but aligned with your new belief. If your new belief is, I am becoming someone who finishes things, your small action could be, finish a small task that you have been avoiding. Send that email. Clean that corner. Spend 10 focused minutes on your project. If your new belief is, I am worthy of taking care of myself, your small action could be, say no to something that drains you. Go to bed earlier. Cook something decent for yourself. If your new belief is, I can learn new skills, your small action could be, watch a short lesson and take notes. Practice for 10 minutes instead of just thinking about it. Step 3. Catch the old voice. At some point, the old programming will appear. You will hear, see, you are already tired. You will quit anyway. Who do you think you are? Your job is not to pretend you do not hear it. Your job is to answer it. For example, thank you for your opinion, old voice. You are trying to protect me from disappointment. But today, I am trying a different way. You do not need to believe your new thought 100%. You only need to create a little space between the voice and your action. Step 4. Night review. Before you sleep, ask yourself, how did I act today when I was more like the person I want to become? Maybe you remember, I wanted to scroll, but I studied for 10 minutes. I was afraid to ask, but I asked the question. I felt lazy, but I went for a short walk. Write 1 or 2 examples. This is how you build a new internal identity. Identity is just a story about who you are. I am the type of person who. The more evidence you consciously collect of new behaviors, the easier it becomes for your brain to say, maybe we are changing. Maybe we are not that old character anymore. Now let us talk about thinking like a winner. Thinking like a winner is not about arrogance or pretending you never suffer. It is about how you interpret reality. Here are some key differences between a limiting mindset and a winner mindset. First difference, failure. Limiting mindset. I failed, so I am a failure. This means I should stop. Winner mindset. I failed, so I just discovered one way that did not work. What can I adjust and try again? Second difference, others' success. Limiting mindset. Their success means something bad about me. I am behind. I am less. Winner mindset. Their success is proof that it is possible. What can I learn from their path? Which parts of their life do I actually want? Third difference, time. Limiting mindset. If it does not happen fast, it is not meant for me. If I do not see results soon, I give up. Winner mindset. Important things take time. Every day that I show up, I am planting seeds that I will harvest later. Fourth difference, responsibility. Limiting mindset. Everything is against me. The system, my family, my past. There is nothing I can do. Winner mindset. Maybe I did not create all of this, but I am responsible for my next step. There is always something small I can choose differently. Fifth difference, self-talk. Limiting mindset. I am stupid. I am hopeless. I always ruin things. Winner mindset. That was a bad decision. I can learn from it. This is hard, and I am capable of growing through it. I am not where I want to be yet, but I am on my way. Notice something important. A winner mindset is not about denial. It does not say, I love suffering, everything is perfect. It says, this is difficult, and I still have power over how I respond. Now, how do you start thinking more like this, especially if your life has been full of challenges? Here are 3 mental exercises you can use. Exercise 1. Turn complaints into questions. Whenever you catch yourself thinking, this is unfair, this is impossible, I cannot do this, pause and ask, if I had to find one small way to make this a little better, what could it be? For example, instead of, I will never have time to work on my dream, you ask, if I had to find 10 minutes a day, where would they be? Instead of, I do not have any opportunities, you ask, what can I do this week to create or move towards one small opportunity? This trains your mind to look for possibilities instead of walls. Exercise 2. Ask better why questions. Your brain loves to answer questions. If you ask, why am I such a loser? Your brain will find a long list of evidence. If you ask, why am I always behind? Your brain will also respond. So you choose better questions. For example, why is it possible that I can change my life in the next few years? Why might I be more capable than I think I am? Why could this difficulty make me stronger or wiser? Your brain may resist at first, but with repetition, it will start to offer new answers. Exercise 3. Visualize from the inside. Many people talk about visualization, but they do it in a passive way. They see themselves with a car, a house, a number in the bank. Instead, try to visualize who you are being. Close your eyes for a minute and imagine. You, 1 year from now, with your mind more reprogrammed, your limiting beliefs softer, your winner mindset stronger. How do you wake up? How do you talk to yourself after a mistake? How do you walk into a room? How do you respond to a challenge? Maybe you see yourself sitting down to work without checking your phone first, speaking more calmly in a conversation, saying no to something that is not aligned, feeling proud after keeping a promise to yourself. The more you rehearse this version of you, the easier it will be for your brain to recognize opportunities to act like that person. To close, remember this. Reprogramming your mind for success is not about becoming a robot of productivity or pretending to be happy all the time. It is about stopping the automatic stories that keep you small and choosing new stories that open space for action, growth, and self-respect. You do not change your life in one dramatic moment. You change it in hundreds of small moments where you notice an old belief, question it, choose a new thought, and take a small action from that new place. One morning intention, one small courageous action, one answered inner critic, one honest night review. Repeat. In a world that constantly tries to program you with fear, scarcity, and comparison, reprogramming your mind for success is an act of quiet rebellion. You are not just a collection of old beliefs from other people's pain. You are a living system that can learn, adapt, and redefine yourself. Your past wrote the first chapters, but your beliefs today are still writing the next ones. You are allowed to pick up the pen, Change the tone of the story and slowly become the kind of person who thinks like a winner, acts like a winner, and builds a life that feels like a victory from the inside.